My name is Sequela Hopper. I'm a member services navigator for Black Women's Exchange and other local institutions. What I do is help Black people live healthier, successful lives. You can always text our community number at 410-826-6264. And this is Duke Porter.
Hey y'all, Senior Program Coordinator for Black Men's Exchange, and thank you for watching our previous health education webisodes. We're really excited to continue to work and happy to be here for Earth Day.
Earth Day. So today's Earth Day, and I think it's important that we understand the context around where we literally live and breathe. You may be asking what Earth Day has to do with health, but let's be clear on the fact that we get all of our human needs met by the earth. We have to do our part in protecting her, and traditionally as African people, we have always had a symbiotic relationship with nature. After all, we are a part of nature, even though we feel like we have outgrown that category because of how amazingly smart and innovative we are as conscious beings. But if we want to be truly conscious, then we have to think further than 5 or 10 years ahead as a collective for the benefit of our grand and our great-grandchildren.
In today's episode, we'll get into what we can do right now to protect our planet, environmental racism, as well as African spirituality. But let's get into some things that we can do right now.
Yeah. So we've all heard about the infamous country crock butter container with like leftover spaghetti or whatever in the fridge. That's something simple that you can do. You can also walk or take the bus, biking, carpooling. Even if not by choice, we have to admit and put a positive spin on the situation and acknowledge our contributions to the planet. Reusing plastic or glass containers that you get at the grocery store as cups or even as plant pots. Some people even freeze batteries for longer use. So,
well, I know growing up in my household, it was always a thing, turn them lights out. And when it comes to being cold during the wintertime, sometimes you can get away with just putting on a simple jacket or a sweater. Speaking of which,
it's kind of cold in here.
Yeah. So with that being said, we also know that there's food at the house. So when it comes to protecting our planet, we can make sure that we are doing simple things like reusing and recycling. And when it comes to growing things like veggies, you can do simple tactics such as putting onion sprouts inside of water and keeping that. You can regrow onions inside of your own kitchen. Simple things. And it also saves money.
And then as far as environmental racism, capitalism and consumerism literally exploited our love of and connection with the earth. If you notice, there's a lot of trash dumps in Black communities, and that's not by accident. In North Carolina, they actually have pig and cow farms located mostly in Black communities. And we won't get into the gross stuff, but just think methane gas and water runoff. But when climate change really takes effect, concentrations of Black and impoverished areas will be the first to see it. Think about all the Caribbean islands and even majority Black cities like New Orleans or Baltimore that have low elevation levels, not to mention sea levels continue to rise year after year. But it seems like eco-conscious practices seem to come naturally to oppressed and impoverished people, but we have to ask ourselves why that is.
In order to combat some of these changes, it's important to know that there are things that we can do right now in our community. For instance, if you're in Baltimore, I highly suggest reaching out to 10D Family. That's TENDEA Family. This is a group that actually organizes community cleanups in various neighborhoods in Baltimore every Sunday at 10 a.m. When it comes to African spiritualism, African people naturally found a way to live symbiotic, sustainable lives with the planet. We always knew that if we take care of the earth, then it will provide and take care of us. Previous traditions include actually asking the tree if it was okay before you cut it down, or praying over animals before you slaughter them for consummation. Behaviors like this may seem trivial now, but the truth is that it helps maintain our humanity. It keeps us intact in this world, right? I think it's important to note that we are one part of this earth and not the rulers of it.
Yeah. I think it's also important to bring back some of the African traditions that we had, such as beekeeping. It's actually found that there were beekeepers in Kemet in 2500 BC. Beekeeping actually helps with your mental health as well as the environment. Beekeeping is shown to help with PTSD, anxiety, and depression. I actually am a beekeeper, and there's an unexplainable balance and divine order in the beehive. It's crazy. You can almost feel the peace when you inspect it. If you decide to learn beekeeping, it comes at the risk of being stung, but what is joy without pain?
So, question, and this may be a little bit about like the capitalism part, but you think I can get a little bit of that, honey?
Oh, of course,
Okay.
of course.
That concludes today's webisode about Earth Day. April 22nd may be the official designated day to recognize Earth Day, but Earth Day is every day. And so it's important to note that if you want to take care of the planet will take care of you. Well, that's health education signing out.